Hi guys again. Now, in this session, we're going to be learning about variable selection and variable creation, how variables are created, what are some rules and what we need to follow, what we don't need to follow. And we would also be learning some more mathematical numbers and formulas, that how to use, let's say, log of a number, how to get absolute number, how to get a square root of a number or any exponent of a number. So we will be learning that today. We will also be diving today into the packages so that we would be ready for our next part. So in this packages, we would be learning how to install packages, how to remove packages, and this session will entail all of that. Now, you must be wondering why I don't have a new R file, why don't I have a script, why don't I have a notebook or a markdown? Because this session is for to teach you guys that we can also code in console. Let's say if I type here 3 plus 4 and I just press enter, just enter, not even control enter, enter, it goes to 7. 3 plus 4 is 7. So we can also code here. It's not something which people tends to do, because you might want to be more specific with your projects. Let's say there's one big project you are doing and you need that in a file, and you can't do that on console because you can save this thing too, but it would be a workspace and not a file. So you can't save this in class1.r. It would be a workspace. So it won't be really a R file, but it would be something of a R file, but not really the R file, which will have code in it. So let's say 3 plus 4 is 7, 5 plus 9 is this, 9 minus 8 is this, 9 minus 9 is this. So we can actually code here. And let's say we need to clean all of this. What we can do is we can click on this, this broom, which is here, control, we can clean this. And we can also control L. As it also says, you can go here and you can say control L. Now, some basic rules that we know. X is this. Let's say X is 3 and I run it. So I can see X is 3 and I want to see what X is. I just run it and X is 3 here. We can see that. Now, what if I say X, small x, is 2? We can see the small x is different value and the big X is different value. So variables don't really work in that order because there's a different value for different for different alphabets. So you can have a capital X, you can have a small x, they will have different values. So you can do that. That's what variable selection is. You can select some different variables and you can put them and you can put stuff in there. Let's say x.1. You can also type like this, x.1, and can say BCD. Enter, and you can say x1 dot is here, BCD. Let's say if I want to do f1.x and I want to say this is DEF, will this run? This shouldn't, in theory. Let's do it practical. So this doesn't run because it shows an error, unexpected symbol in 1.x. So these are some variables rules which we need to follow, that a variable needs to be followed with an character, with an A to Z. It needs to be from A to Z. You can't have add the dates, you can't have 1, you can't have numeric numbers or some different special characters, but you can have anything between A to Z. This is the first formula. After you put the first letter, anything from this, S, E, or C, anything. After that, you can put anything here. Let's say C add the date 111 is ZDE. And it says, no, it doesn't work like that. Why? Because there's a numeric constant in C add the date. Why? If I say C111 and I do that, ZDE, then it runs. But with the add the date, so you can't really work with what the special characters. You can't really work with special characters with the R. So there's two rules we need to follow. Special characters. Second, the character shouldn't be, the variable name shouldn't be followed with a number or any other character. It should be from A to Z. These are two rules which we need to follow while creating some different variables. And we also need to remember that A and a capital A, they both are different in R. Next thing which I wanted to show, let's say I want to remove something. Let's say I want to delete the value of C1111. And how do I do this? I say RM and it's removed. As you can see, now CA is not here. Focus again. Look here. Look for X, big capital X dot 1. It's going to remove when I run this. Oh, I didn't close the bracket. Now if I run this, it's gonna clear. So it's clear now. So you can actually clear stuff. And you can also enter them, but you can't really go back to the line which you have entered. So you have wasted this many space. But again, if you want to go back up, let's say you want to go on this line, you need to again clear it. Now, I can also see what's in my directory, in my working directory, ls. If I just click ls and enter, so it will say that I have these many variables, x and x. So it's actually listing all of these out. ls means listing from a directory. So we can get x and x, it's from here. Now, moving towards to some different mathematical functions, which is, let's say y is 10. And I say that's square root of y. So you can see as SQRT is SQRT, which is square root of 10 is 3.16. If I want to see square root of, let's say x is now 2, and I say wait, x is now 4, and I say square root of x, it's going to be 2. Now the very fascinating thing which I think you should notice when I did this would be that, let's say I name, let me clear this first. Let's say I name a variable x, capital X, and let me clear the directory too, which you can clear from this. You can say yes, and it's clear the environment. So there's nothing in your directory now. If you do ls, there would be anything. It says correct to 0 because there's nothing there. Now, if I say big X and I say 20, so R in theory has a power to override this number, which basically means if I now say x is 25, so if you just focus on this number, it's going to turn to 45, turn to 25. As you can see, now x value is changed. So you can also override the numbers, which could be messy if you're working in if you're working with the long programs. So it can get messy. If you're working with long programs, let's say if you write a big whole script and you have so many variables which are very messy. That's why we say in coding, there's a language, there's a slang which we say that always name your variables. Never work with x, never work with a, never work with b. Always name your variables. Let's say number 1, which is, let's say, 10. And it's good for coding practices. That's why we say that always have a name for your variables. Don't just put them on single letters. Now, as we have cleared that, let's say y is 20. And now I say log of y. So I can find the log of y. I can say 2.99. So I can use R rather than using Google or rather than using calculator by just using R. I can just type y is 20, okay, log is y. And if I want to say the square root of y, which is 4.4721. If I want to see, let's say, the log on base of 2 and not on 10, because this by default is 10, I can just simply say log 2 as a different value. As you can see, it's 2.99 and that is 4.32. Now, we can also work with hashtags here. We can type anything and it won't go. But we type something like this, there's going to be error, that object, this is not found. And it is called as object. A variable is called as object in R. When I clear all of this, now we can also say, let's say y, as I've told you, like you can create a variable like this, but you can also use equal to sign to create variable like this. Y would be 10. You can simply create equal to, but I like to point an arrow so that it tells me that 10 is y. That's why I use y with an arrow, but you can, it's your always choice that what you want to do. Now let's say y is minus 20. What I can do is absolute of y would be 20. Absolute is gives a positive value. It's like a jail. It is a very good concept of jail with absolute, that when you go in a jail, you're a negative. You have negative vibes, you have a negative person. And when you come out, you get a positive person. So that's what goes. When anything can go in an ABS, but when it comes out, it's going to be positive. That's why ABS is absolute, and it gives absolute value. So if you say minus any random number, it's going to say positive number. It's very optimistic. Okay. Apart from that, now we're going to clear this. Control L, and now we're going to work on the packages and see what packages are. Now in R we have so many packages. It's around 5,000 plus counting. There are so many packages, 5,000 plus. And as I told you, a package is like a package. It has something in it, and what it has some various functions. Like as we seen ABS, we seen SQRT, we seen log, log2, log. These all are functions, as you can see. Log1p, log10, log2, log b. So these all are functions. Now, how we can install these packages in our system? We can type help install dot packages in quotes. When I do this, there's going to happen something here. There's a new page now. As you can see, it says help came for you from R. It says usage, install.package, how you can use it, how you need to use it. So it stays all those stuff. Now, the repository is a place where all the packages are. And for R, it's CRAN, C-R-A-N, CRAN like repository. This repository has all the packages. Let's say I want to install a random package, install.packages. Wait, it's package, install.package. I put it in a quotes and I say APR. So this is a package which we're going to use in the next class or some other class. When I see it says install.package APR is not recognized because I'm missing one S, as you can see. So what I can do is I can just press S here and then install it. So now, as you can see, it's installing. And as it's installing now, we're going to wait. Now, this package is going to be on your system, so you can use it anytime. And what this package is, we can say it about when it's installed, and we can want to learn about what this package is. It might not run this long for you, and you can also see there's a stop button now for you here, which you can stop this system, interrupt R, as you can see, but don't interrupt it because it's running. Till it's running, let's go to the CRAN website, CRAN of R, Comprehensive R Archive Network, and we can see that there's a lot of stuff here which you can read, and we can see what R stuff is. It's going to say to submit a package. You can also make your own package and submit. So that because R is an open source language, you can give your packages, or you can work with some other people's packages. And it's still running, as you can see, because it wasn't on my system before. Well, as it's taking me a lot of time to download this package, we're going to download some different packages. For the sake of this session, we're going to download, let's say, ggplot2. And now this is going to run. Please don't take this much time now. Till then, what we can do is we can go to packages here, and we can also install it from here rather than typing here. As you can see, it was already installed. That's why it didn't take so much time. And it says downloaded source package are in this directory. So now if I want to work with this package, now what I can do is I can load this package by like this, and this package is now loaded. Library ggplot2 is now loaded. I can also remove this package by just typing remove packages, and put in quotes and just type ggplot2, but I don't want to do that. I don't really want to do that, but you can remove the packages and install it from here. You can also install, and the repository is cran because we are working in cran, and we can see the package's name. You can just type package's name. There are so many packages you can see. APR must be here somewhere. It's here. Now, with that being said, so this is all about working with packages. You can also check for updates, that is there any package which I have installed needs an update. So you can see that I have installed on 1.21%, 1.2.1 version of Backsports, and I have an available package which can be uploaded, but I haven't uploaded it here. I haven't updated it here, but you can too if you have seen so many packages. These packages are really important, which we're gonna now in the next class we're just gonna be importing packages and working with these packages so that we can amend our skills. So that's it for today, and I hope you have learned how about packages and data types, variables, and in this whole introduction section we're going to be moving on to the part 2, which we will be talking about vectors, matrices, data frame, and some other stuff. Bye bye then.